Hello, people. It's Cole, and today we're getting positively presidential with the First Ladies. This is a DK Eyewitness book that was published in 2009, so it covers all of First Ladies up through Michelle Obama. I love First Ladies, and I love DK Eyewitness books, so I think this is going to be quite a treat. I'm here for you every week with a vintage magazine or book flip through. So stay right here with me, and let's get started. Okay. So, on the cover, we have a black and white photo of some of our first ladies. Those are the gals. And then up here, Michelle Obama. And I think that must be Martha Washington. And it mentions them down here at the bottom. Because this book was published in 2009, those were our ladies. No Melania, no Dr. Jill. Part of the reason I was drawn to this book, beside the fact that it's a wonderful, beautiful DK Eyewitness book, is that it has a clip art CD. This is like a withdrawn library book from a public library, but the CD's in there. There's a little like peekaboo window in here, which I love that. We surely will look at that CD before at the end of this video, so do stay tuned. All right, let's get started. So there's the CD right there. It's in this little sleeve, and it has cherry blossoms on the outside. It's very tastefully done. There's like a library sticker about like the CD software, warning users that it could like corrupt their system or whatever, because of course like a CD that's just like being passed and forth and used by strangers at the public library could have like anything on it. In the background of this, we have a very nice like running list of all of the many DK Eyewitness books that there are, which I just think these are so excellently done. The illustrations are wonderful. Always everything floating on a white background, which is something about the clean sort of like scientificness of that, no matter what the topic is I really enjoy it. A presidential ladies fan in association with the Smithsonian Institution. Ooh, how official. There's a little preview over here of some nice artifacts. The book is full of artifacts. Grace Coolidge's Native American bracelet. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. Turquoise and silver. Some shoes from Abigail Adams. Very crusty yellow shoes. A lot of these things are actually quite crusty and yellow. Crusty yellow gown from Dolly Madison. Crusty yellow purse from Rosalind Carter. All right. The pioneer First Lady, Martha Washington. She is a dead ringer for George Washington, isn't she? It talks about her like going out into like the Revolutionary War to visit George Washington and the troops, because he was like an army guy. He was like, they were fighting for their independence, so it was sort of a lot more violent and first-hand type of way. Abigail Adams. Oh, this is those crusty yellow shoes from the first page. It says, a proper lady. Abigail's curling iron suggests that while she was not a fashion trendsetter, like some of the first ladies who succeeded her, she did give thought to her appearance. However, Mrs. Adams was shocked by the fashionable French dresses of her time, which featured high waists, revealing necklines, and flimsy fabrics. Look at this curling iron. That is so scary. That is like a torture device. It says she was a true patriot who supported and influenced her husband, urging him to remember the ladies. In fact, John's political rivals called the opinionated and outspoken Abigail Mrs. President, implying that she had too much political influence over him. Doesn't that sound familiar? Hillary had that same problem. Dolly Madison. Okay. I know about her a little bit. I know that she's Party girl. At Madison's inaugural ball, the former Quaker, who had been raised to shun finery, looked like a queen with an elaborate purple bonnet topped with white feathers. And then down here, a style all her own. In this portrait, Dolly wears one of her distinctive turbans. Her spectacular clothes invited ridicule, but most people felt there's something fascinating about her. She's an it girl. So I know about Dolly Madison because of the Dolly Madison pies. That's that name is like comes from her. I mean, she didn't invent those, obviously, but they're like inspired by her as a fabulous hostess around the White House, and also reminds me of like Dolly Parton, Two Doors Down. We're laughing and drinking and having a party 2 doors down. That's Dolly right there. She's doing that. At her funeral in 1849, President Zachary Taylor declared, "She will never be forgotten because she was truly our first lady for a half century." The term First Lady stuck and ultimately became the official title for the president's wife or official hostess. Cool. The term was coined for her. Wow. Mary Lincoln. She's got a real big portrait. The First Lady's excessive spending on clothes and her redecorating of the executive mansion were her attempts to uphold the power and prestige of the presidency during its most serious national crisis, the Civil War. I don't know why some of these photos in here are like very terrible quality. Not that they're like smudgy, old, pictures like this is, but like they're really pixelated, which is so weird for a book of this caliber. It's a DK Eyewitness book, okay? And this dress looks like shit. Fashion at any cost. The extravagant First Lady often shopped for fine fabrics in New York and employed a full-time dressmaker, former slave Elizabeth Keckley, who became her close friend. Wow. I had no idea she was like such a diva. You can't really tell, based off of, there's not like, I don't know like the semiotics of like what denotes someone as like that girl back then. Anyway, back to the pixely pictures. How strange, right? For someone as important as Mary Lincoln, she would never stand for that. Eleanor Roosevelt, a useful First Lady. This was during the Great Depression. People love Eleanor Roosevelt. She's got a whole bunch of 4 whole pages in here. A Declaration of Human Rights, speaking up for civil rights. She's a social activist, which is very important during the Great Depression. I mean, it's always important. Such a tremendous difference from the beginning of this, when the First Ladies were like hated any attention or were like had to be completely working in the shadows, to being like extremely out front, sort of almost outshining their husbands in some ways in some arenas, and that being, people loving that. The cult of the First Lady, right? Mamie Eisenhower. Mamie, whose bangs created a stir, put her personal stamp on the White House as well. The First Lady furnished her private quarters with pink pillows and bath towels and tried to make the executive mansion a cozy home for her husband and herself. Here's like a cool charm bracelet. They liked Ike's wife. Remember, I Like Ike? Mamie and Pat. On the campaign trail, she became a celebrity in her own right. Mamie, a devoted wife, mother, and hostess, appealed to Americans, and particularly to housewives who felt that they had something in common with the most visible woman in the country. Jackie Kennedy. Talked about her getting her start as like a journalist. I didn't know that. She worked for the Washington Times Herald in 1952 and became the paper's inquiring camera girl, earning $42.50 a week. And there's her big ass camera that she carried around. Oh my god, look at this ring. This is really cool. It's like fully asymmetrical. That's her engagement ring. Oh, so beautiful. A youthful White House. It talks about her influence on fashion. Jackie wore the suit designed by Oleg Cassini to a White House function in 1961. Women were so captivated with her fashion style that department stores used mannequins bearing her features and hairstyle. There's a comic book about Caroline Kennedy, who's their daughter. That is like wild. People really loved these Kennedys, but we all know how that ended. Yikes. Here's her remarriage to Aristotle Onassis. That's how she became Jackie O, of course, at age 40. Betty Ford, a direct and likable first lady. Ready for Betty. One of Mrs. Ford's aides called her the most upfront person I ever knew. Although some Americans objected to Betty's outspokenness, most seemed ready for a first lady who believed that being ladylike does not require silence. Look at how far we've come, gals. Love this. Look at this, like, crazy 70s vest. First mama from 1976. After Jerry Ford left office, Betty admitted to having a dependence on painkillers and alcohol. Because she was so frank, remember, she sought professional help and urged others to face their own problems. Later, she founded the now famous Betty Ford Center for Drug and Alcohol Rehabilitation in Rancho Mirage, California, the Betty Ford Clinic. Rosalind Carter, expanding the First Lady's role. There's that crusty purse from the beginning of the book. Same damn criticisms we've heard the entire time. As First Lady, Mrs. Carter attended cabinet meetings and served as honorary chairperson of the President's Commission on Mental Health. At her husband's request, she also represented him on an official trip to Latin America. During it, she discussed issues and policies with foreign leaders and was therefore criticized for exceeding the limits of her position. Okay. Nancy Reagan. Oh, wait. There's someone here that wants to chime in. Miss Reagan, do you have anything you'd like to tell us about your experience in the White House as a First Lady? I see you're wearing your inaugural gown for this video today. Thank you so much for showing it to us. Oh, you want to show your feet? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Cute. Great shoes. Okay. Longtime viewers of the channel might know that I do have this Nancy Reagan doll, which is a porcelain doll and is very weird. It's a long story, but I'm not like a huge fan of Nancy Reagan, but I am a huge fan of weird dolls and had to pull her out of storage for this. Okay, Nancy Reagan. Oop, sorry. I shouldn't touch you there. Called Queen Nancy by her critics, Nancy Reagan was fiercely protective of her husband and often faulted for having too much power over affairs of the state. Again. We know Nancy Reagan for being, being part of the Just Say No drug campaign thing, which was like a huge flop, right? A big joke. Nancy was met with public disapproval for redecorating the family living quarters, spending large sums on official receptions, and wearing glamorous clothes. Mrs. Reagan countered such attacks with humor and quickly changed her image to reflect her social concerns. So it's not surprising that someone who would be married to like the actor president, kind of like Melania Trump, would be a performer herself, like attention, like to look fancy and spend money, make waves. Over here, Barbara Bush. She's so interesting as a first lady visually, dubbed everybody's grandmother because she had white hair, right? She didn't dye her hair. She had white hair, which is like fine. Obviously, you can have white hair. She's an older woman. All of these women were old enough to have white hair, and they probably all did. But they dyed their hair, and she didn't, and that made her seem like an older lady, which I guess can work to your advantage if you're everyone's grandmother. Like that's a good thing. All right, Nance, you've had your moment. You're famous again, but we'll put you away. Hillary Rodham Clinton. We all know plenty about Hillary Clinton. She's subject to all of the same criticisms that so many of these other women were subject to about overstepping her role and whatnot. But then she fully did her own thing by running for president herself and all these other things, which is pretty cool. I wonder how many other of these first ladies would have run for president eventually had they had the opportunity, you know. Oh my god, this hat on Inauguration Day in this suit, great. Laura Bush, who, the only thing I know about Laura Bush is that she was a librarian. A family tradition. There's Barbara. Laura Bush had a lot in common with her mother-in-law, Barbara. Not only did both women serve as first ladies, they also shared an interest in education and literacy. Barbara Bush was the second woman in history to have both a husband and a son serve as president. Finally, we've reached the end here with beautiful Michelle Obama speaking her mind. Outgoing and intelligent, Michelle first captured the public's attention in the 2004 Democratic National Convention. Oh my god, do you remember this whole thing with the fist bump and how this was like such a big deal? The friendly gesture, which is historically associated with the African American community, caused a minor media frenzy. I read Becoming, Michelle's book, which was a great book. Very, very enlightening, very interesting to learn about her trajectory as being a lawyer and all the things she did. And continues to do, so I recommend it if you want to know more than this one page tells us. Okay, here's our fascinating facts. This video has already been like way too long, so I think we'll just move through to the clip art CD. Okay. On the back, be an eyewitness to the second hardest job in America and the extraordinary first ladies who made their mark on the White House, the nation, and the role of women in the United States. Hillary's gown, those crusty yellow shoes, Miss Dolly Madison, party girl, all the faves back here. All right. I'm gonna cut to my computer. I'll start a screen recording, and we will take a look at that clip art CD. Here's the CD, by the way. Eyewitness First Ladies clip art. Okay. Okay, here it is. Ew. Ew, First Ladies. Eyewitness First Ladies. Look at this. We have all of these folders of our clip arts. Yep, there's Martha Washington. Ew, this is like some grungy quilt. Let's just like look at the faves, okay? Let's look at our fave gals. Dolly Madison. That's a pretty great picture. I do like her eccentric turban style. I didn't even talk about this, but this was like when the White House got like burned down. I don't remember what the deal was. Something with the British. It was like close to the Revolutionary War, right? Got burned down, so there's Dolly right there. Like they're, trying to move everything out to save the things in the White House. Isn't that thoughtful? And there's a bowl. Fabulous. Maybe she makes jungle juice in that bowl. Let's see Mary Lincoln. Oh, we got 2 pages of Mary Lincoln. Yep. That's the striped dress. Remember the pixely dress? Now we get to see like a good picture of it. What should I do with all of this? All of this great clip art, I wonder. There's Eleanor. That's a cute picture. She looks good. I like that. Has that like beautiful luminousness of old black and white glamour photography. Oh, and here's some of her garments. I didn't talk about these, but this is like a mink coat that she would wear. And this is a like lavender velvet dress that she wore to the inauguration, which is super cool. Oh my god. Mamie Eisenhower with these bangs. Look at that. She's cute. Her hair is in like some weird like 2 buns or like a long sausage roll bun or something. There's Jackie. I don't think that they did have all of these pictures in the book actually, so this is nice to see. She is so beautiful. Wow. Oh, and there's her cruddy little camera from when she was the girl on the go or whatever for the newspaper. Rosalind Carter. This is a good picture. I like this this blue and gold. It's a great, actually I quite like this composition here. Oh my god, look at this like weird blurred out office, but then it's like hard cut up here. It's so strange. They really did make such a big deal about this dress, and then the doll came with this dress too. Like, it's fine. It's fully beaded. It's heavy. Even the doll's dress is heavy, but like, I just don't think this dress is that great. I just don't. That was the Nancy Reagan dress, if you didn't recognize it. And Hillary, another funny, like blurred out, soft edge, and then a hard cut silhouette. There's that great outfit. I really do think this outfit is pretty awesome. And lastly, Michelle. Oh, just kidding. That's Laura Bush. Laura Bush at some kind of book signing or something. And there's Michelle right there, making a speech. This is a great picture. I love this. Really cute. Well, there you have it. The First Lady's DK Eyewitness Book from 2009. Well, I hope you liked that video and found it as educational and as glamorous as I did. I will see you all next week with another new video. So until then, take care.